Welcome to The Explainer. So today we need to talk about a paradox that's really shaking up the tech world. We're seeing mass layoffs, but at the same time, company stocks are just soaring to record highs. Now, this isn't just some headline, it's a critical signal for every single investor out there. We're about to break down the real story behind what's coming in 2026.
Okay, it all kicks off with this just staggering number. Recent research from MIT shows that a mind-blowing 95% of corporate AI projects are bringing in zero financial returns. I mean, they're not just underperforming, they are straight up burning cash.
But here's the crazy part. At the exact same time, the market is completely on fire. You've got the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, they're smashing records, hitting new all-time highs, what feels like every single day. It's like we're living in two totally different realities at once.
So you got to ask yourself, how is this even possible? How can these companies be failing so spectacularly on their biggest investment, while their valuations are just going through the roof? What is the real signal here behind all of this noise? All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so the first piece of this puzzle, it's all happening inside these companies. You can almost think of it like a corporate illusion, a kind of stagecraft, really, that's all designed to manage how investors see them, even when things are getting really tough behind the curtain. And to really get what's going on, you have to appreciate the sheer scale of the bet they're making. We're talking a jaw-dropping $320 billion just in 2025 alone committed to AI infrastructure. This isn't just some small investment, it's an all-out arms race.
And this is where all that money just hits a brick wall. I mean, despite pouring in hundreds of billions, a mind-blowing 95% of these projects are generating zero, absolutely zero financial returns. It's like a colossal financial black hole.
So how do you hide losses that big? Well, they've got a really powerful tool for that, the stock buyback. Basically, they use their own cash to buy their own stock. This reduces the number of shares out there, which pushes the price of the remaining ones up. It looks great on paper, but it's really just financial engineering that takes money away from real innovation.
Let me put it this way. Imagine you've got a lemonade stand. But instead of using your profits to buy more lemons or a bigger sign, you just use your cash to buy your own lemonade over and over. To anyone watching, it looks like you've got insane demand, even if you don't have a single new customer. And the sheer scale of this is just wild. In 2024, you and I, the retail investors, we bought about $100 billion in stock, right? Well, corporations, they bought back $625 billion of their own shares. I mean, they are outspending us 6-to-1, all to pump up their stock prices, while at the same time laying off thousands of people.
All right, let's shift gears to the second huge factor here, because this isn't just a corporate story. Believe it or not, government policy is actually throwing gasoline on this fire, and a lot of times it's having the exact opposite effect of what was intended.
Just take a look at the new H-1B visa rules. Starting in 2026, there's going to be a new $100,000 fee for foreign tech workers. The goal, they say, is to protect American jobs. But here's the giant loophole. Why would a company pay that fee when they can just hire the exact same engineer in their London office for half the price and no visa hassle? The policy is pretty much pushing jobs overseas.
Oh, but it doesn't stop there. On top of that, you've got a 25% tariff on critical electronics from China. So every little piece they need for that AI infrastructure, every chip, every server, just got way more expensive.
Now, companies aren't just going to eat these new costs. They can't just jack up prices on consumers, and their investors won't let them slow down the AI spending. So what's left? They go after their single biggest expense, their people. More than half of companies are already saying they're planning layoffs because of these tariffs.
So what you have is this perfect storm. Your hardware is more expensive because of tariffs, and your onshore talent is more expensive because of visa rules. Suddenly, what's the cheapest, most logical option? Automation. And that creates this vicious cycle, an automation death spiral that's really going to define 2026.
Okay, so you've got this mess of corporate illusions and policy backfires creating chaos. As an investor, as a professional, where do you put your money? Where's the safe harbor? Well, the interesting thing is, the answer is hiding inside the problem itself.
Yeah, the single biggest opportunity is staring us right in the face. That $320 billion being poured into AI projects that are failing 95% of the time, that's not just a crisis. That is a massive, expensive problem crying out for a solution.
You know, this whole situation is creating a huge fork in the road. On one path, you can be a commodity, a salaried employee just executing tasks, totally vulnerable when the cost-cutting comes. Or you can take the other path and become an asset, a specialist who actually steps in and solves that 95% failure problem, and by the way, commands rates of over $1,000 an hour.
Now, the skills you need to become that asset, they're not generic. They're super specific. We're talking about high-demand fields like cloud engineering, cybersecurity, and something called ML Ops, which is just a fancy way of saying you know how to actually get these machine learning models to work in the real world. These are the skills that fix the underlying problems, and that's where the real growth is.
So the big takeaway, the thing you need to remember, is that the old playbook is dead. This is about a total mindset shift. Stop thinking like an employee, just waiting for a job to be posted. Start thinking like a business, like a consultant who can walk into a company and prove you can make their AI investment actually pay off. These companies aren't just looking for hires, they're desperate for solutions.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, especially for every investor watching. This wave of layoffs that's coming, it's not just another downturn. It's a fundamental shift in the market. It's creating a brand new class of valuable assets, the people who can solve the biggest, most expensive problem in tech. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, in 2026, is your portfolio hedging against the bubble, or are you invested in the solution?